Tobago, and Port Spain. They just have a tournament every 31st of August. Yeah, that way
Okay,
partner went
that's
to.
it.
Every 31st is how that thing.
Jan, please introduce yourself.
My name is John Steadman. Born and grew up in San Fernando. Part of a twin sister named Janice. A family of 10. 5 boys, 3 girls, mother and father. Live at Fronto Street. Attended Yuleen Private School in Bertrand Street as a youth. Attended St. Benedict's College. San Fernando Government School. Then I went to SDA, San Fernando, Seventh-day Adventist. Southern Academy for 1 term, and then to Benedict's. In those days, you will take the exam, which is still going on, to enter the school, which I did. And from there, I started off my career in football. I was always a guy who loved football. I started playing at a very early age with guys like Frankie Harewood, Carper, Glenn Carper. These were guys who were much elder than me. They were older than me. Wilton Jackson's brother, which was Ralph. And these are the guys who tried to mold me as a youth in playing. I made some San Fernando Government School at the age of 10. I was in Standard 3. 10 or 12, somewhere there. Standard 3. And then I moved on to St. Benedict's College after attending SDA. At St. Benedict's College, I started playing for the under-14 team. I was vice captain at the time. I played there until I was under 16. I played for the under 16 team. And then I graduated to the senior team. Fortunately for me, I was so happy when I made the team against St. Mary's. I played against players like Vivian Manswell and Jeff Cellino. These were guys who were playing with St. Mary's senior team. They were all playing in the Port of Spain League. My first encounter with Benedict's team was an evening. I was told to bring my gears for a training session in the park by August Hooter. That was a Tuesday. He told me that. The Thursday now, I was sent home for dues.
Dues?
Yeah, I couldn't pay my dues. My mother couldn't pay. It was three of us, school fees, yeah.
Okay.
They call it dues. 3 of us was going to Benedict's at the time. So I told them, I said, look, pay for my bigger brother and the youngest one, I will hold out. And that was in the morning they sent me home. But the Friday I was invited to come to play. I didn't know, walk with my boots to Skinner Park. I went down to Skinner Park. And there it is. The whole of St. Benedict's team was there with guys from Presentation, Naparima, Irie College. I was amazed. What's going on? They pick a team. They put me on the team with the Irie guys and the Presentation and Naparima guys. And we started playing. But remember, I was still at home. Okay, we played. Benedict's beat us up. Saturday morning, now I'm getting ready to go to Scout Rally. That time we used to use a train and hop on the train, jump off, and they'd stop.
Scout Rally?
Yeah, Scout Rally.
Jamboree?
Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't a jamboree. We used to go to St. Anne's. We used to have a big...
Oh, by the headquarters?
By the headquarters. Yeah. Everybody do the display or whatever. And I was getting ready to go there. Yeah. And there it is, I saw a guy named, a goalkeeper named Carl Husham. He was also a runner with Brooklyn. He came down and he said, John, you got to get ready. I said, for what? You're going in school. They want you in school. But I know they had a game against St. Mary's that evening. And then he took out the Guardian and he showed me. I said, well, maybe I want to sub or something like that. So I said, well, all right, I'm glad for that. I only started in 11. You know how that felt? So I got ready and we went down to school. And we were down on the pavilion. Not knowing that Uta had picked the team while I was outside. While I was home, and he talked to Don Basil and Bunal Dean, Unadine and these people about the team. And they said, no, not me. I am too small. Uta told them, no, football don't go by age and size. He can play. I went there. I could remember saying down in Benedict's, on the ground. And when Bobby Sukram, I knew all the guys in Benedict's team, but they didn't know me because I was a junior player. When Bobby Sukram came, the first thing he mentioned in the ground is that, who is John Steadman? So I stood up, and he watched me and he shake it, and he come and shake my hand and thing. We went and we played the game. We lost to St. Mary's, 1-0. That was Apex. At the end of the game, we had a luncheon a dinner at Chuck's restaurant. I don't know if you remember Chuck's restaurant down
Yes, 4 West?
no, that is on Peniton Street. Coming down Peniton Street, Chuck restaurant. Hey, and it's the first time I seen things like eggs with those things in it, fried chicken, noodles, and we didn't survive that. My mother couldn't afford that. So I was like in heaven. You understand? I had a ball. After we played this, the whole team went on to play for College League. We represent South. We won everything. And at the end of that, we had the end of season party at Hotel Normandy.
Port of Spain.
Port of Spain.
And these are South players.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? So we went up there. I could remember the guys saying we all in our blazer, green blazer with yellow
STBC.
piping and white pants. And I remember the guy in the bar saying, you see those guys there? No whiskey for them or nothing like that. They are schoolboys.
Yeah.
So I got up. I went to the bar and I told the guy, I said, hey, here what's happening. I never tasted that before. I see my father drinking it, but he never gave us it. I would like to take a taste. So what he did, he threw out some whiskey, and then he threw out juice. So I was drinking orange juice and whiskey. Nobody knew that. So from that, I watched that. And then I remember we played not Malik, was Belmont Intermediate. And there we played them in Uwe ground, and we beat them 2-1. And this guy named Franco came up to me, and he said, youth man, you will be a future star in this place, So I look at him, he said, boy, the way you playing, And then, well, okay, we came and we make Trinidad team after. We went on with the college boys, Archibald. Well, after they left, Archibald, Dillian, Dick Furlong, Kenny Joseph, Wilfred Cave, they came on board. Because, we had to keep that momentum going. So we went to Suriname. We went to Barbados. We even went as far as Martinique. In Martinique now, they took us to a place the night after we reached to eat. When we gone into this restaurant and the guy opened the fridge, we seeing chicken with feathers on still, not clean or nothing, in the freezer. We got a soup to drink, a fish broth. So we were so hungry looking to drink. scales in the fish broth. We said, no, we can't handle this.
What country?
That was Martinique.
Martinique.
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Yeah. So what Don Basil, they sees Don Basil there, they say, look, he had to do something about that. So the school we were staying in, there was a Trinidad woman. Her husband was the principal, and she was from Trinidad. Her husband was from Guyana, this Indian lady, East Indian lady. And they decided, look, we will do cooking for you. And they used to cook for us, right? And they'll send DeLeon for the bread, and DeLeon will be coming like these people. They used to have the bread under the arm. And we've been looking at DeLeon coming like this, with this bread under his arm.
Yeah.
You say, hey, you pick up the people and everything already, boy. And we used to kick to that, And that was fun. I remember St. Augustine girls. They were there out there. They were doing some maybe on learning French or whatever. Martinique is French. And they were there. I remember couple, their daughter. They were the only two used to talk to us. The rest of the girls didn't mellow with us, And we all stay in the same place. I remember that after that, now we came and the three of us made the national team. Archibald, Leon, and myself. Cummins was from Fatima. We went to Jamaica. And we played in the CONCACAF tournament. And while we were in Jamaica, news came out to us that, hey, Archibald and Cummins going to Atlanta to play professional football. What is that?
Professional.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Professional football, Then they told us after they break it down that it had scouts and things watching. But it had men like Cornell and them playing with our team, but they didn't look at them. They were like maybe the age. They were looking for younger guys. We were like 19, 17. I don't know, about 18, 19, all around that age. When we came second in the tournament. So we had to go to, forget the country we had to go to play the finals, but we didn't go. Cummins went. For what reason, I don't know, but when we reached Trinidad now, we turned home. I remember the guy from, he was one of the guys, he used to run sports and game, Andrews. He's the man who was in charge of sports and game. He was a big man in SFL, in the Football Association down there. And they came to meet us something, and he told me, he said, hey, you and DeLeon going to New York. What? That was something else, like, my brother was in New York already, my bigger brother, so it was like, hey, going home. And then Don Basil, no, the eldest one, he died out there about 2 years ago. The eldest one, like Reginald, he went to Benedict's too, but he used to play a little football, nothing big. And we said, okay, we're going to New York, but then Don Basil, no, he said, since New York could take 2, they might as well take 3. So he went and he negotiated with them for Archie to come back to New York. That's how Archie ended up going to New York with us. So 3 of us ended up in New York, and Cummins alone went to Atlanta. And after, it was history, After my career up there, I played with New York Generals, 2 seasons. Then the team folded. The people wasn't coming out as, so the team sort of like went kind of bang. So it's only 2 seasons we played. I returned home in 79, no, that was 68. At the end of 68. And then I returned to the States in 69. Yeah, I came and I played with Juniors Sports Club in San Fernando. I played with them for a couple of years. And then, boom, 69, I left and I went back to the States. And I was responsible for Archibald and DeLeon coming back up because I told them, hey, those guys are in Trinidad doing nothing. So they sent for them because I was playing. That time I had a hernia operation, so I couldn't do nothing. I just went and make sure that, hey, these guys are back up here. Then I spoke about Wouter. So then Wouter ended up in New York also. He ended up in Philadelphia. I got his first job for him in Philadelphia. He never forget me for that. Twice I got jobs for him. After he spent a little while in Philadelphia, I got a next job for him after that. So he always had that for me, Jan, Yan. He's called me Yan. And we taught him English, because he didn't know much English. We taught him English enough to understand us, and we could understand him. And then from that, after my operation, I called on Archibald and Dillian were playing with Bruce and Grell. They were playing with Bisons, I think. That was Lincoln Phillip was coaching that team in Washington, yeah. And I remember that I called him a morning, and I say, Lincoln, I want to play with your team, you know, I want to try out. And his word to me was, do you think oh, he said it? Are you as good as before? I just hung up the phone on him. You understand? And the next year, I went, we were one of the founders of New York Cosmos. I played for New York Cosmos. That was the first time they coming out because Generals was out, and then Cosmos came into the. I played with them. Then I started going to Brooklyn College. So I had to finish off with the soccer. I decided, look, let me go and get some education. I went to Brooklyn College and I obtained my bachelor degree in physical education. But during that spell, I went back and tried out again with Cosmos. And I was the only person they picked from the tryout. Yeah. But they didn't call me at all. When I asked them, hey, what's going on? I called from my head office. They said they're done in Miami training. So they left me out. And I knew why. Because what happened is, most of the guys who came from England, they were not straight. Well, most of us. We just had an H1 visa allowing us to work. And these coaches and them, they're from England. So they went for their people. They make sure they get straight. But they didn't know I have gotten my green card already. They didn't know. And they didn't ask nothing, so I left it like that. Then I started coaching Mega Rivers College while I was in Brooklyn College. I coached them, and they were doing well. The first time I experienced, I had a lot of experience over there. We're going to play a game up Catskill, right up in the countryside. And halftime we lead in 2-1. And second half is a whole fresh team come out to play us. I want to know what's going on. But then that was America way.
Yeah, when we only changed to
yeah, they changed the whole team. Yeah. But that only happened in the lower division. Okay. You know, I think it still goes on in the lower division. You know, because remember they tried to get away from the English so much. They tried to change up everything. Even the soccer, they wanted to make it no outside and thing, you know. Things just hitting off and coming back. So, well, they want to kill people. You know. It never materialized because FIFA won't allow that. That's why they call it soccer instead of football. Yeah. You know? And their football is more football. You understand? Then I went to Brooklyn College and I got my degree. I came home after that. And I started working at St.Benedict College. Yeah. I sent guys out for scholarship. Started it. I started it first in New York when I was coaching Trinbago, a team, yeah. Well, Sonata Steelpan started off as a football team, you know.
Really?
Right? I was coaching them. I forgot the name we were carrying. And that's why I got injured. Playing for them, we was playing against a team called Trinbago from Santa Cruz. Most of the people were Santa Cruz people. But I know if I'm playing professional, I'm fit. They couldn't pass me. My team wasn't that good, but I was a tower in the back. And this guy just up on me and hit me a kick just so, man. Yes, I put a ball out for a throw, and that was it. The injury came on. I stopped playing for a while. And then Sonata Steelpan formed from that. Right? Randolph Henry, the guy, Hill here, was the guy who started off the whole thing. And then I came home now. After that, I came home in 79. The end of 79. No, I really was supposed to go and work with Jack Warner, Harold Taylor, and Bain. They were at Polytechnic. But Bain discovered me. He knew me. I didn't know him. But when he came to New York, he met me. Had a team called Phoenix that we went touring with. Cummins was the coach. Silas Figaro was playing, Steve David, you know, Ron Lafrey. It was a nice team. Headley, Boxill, guys from Malvern, you know. And we were doing Llewellyn, Sammy Llewellyn, Cleveland Mendez, even Stuart Charles, who's connection coach now. He was on the team too, Favier. You understand? And the team was going good, but what happened? Things wasn't in place. We had to go to Panama and all these places, and apparently the person who was in charge of that did a good job. So we had to return. So I told him I was manager player. So I told Foots, I said, look, back to Trinidad, you know. We can't be spending all this money and, you know, we ain't making back nothing, things like that. Because we went to Colombia. Even Crapo was playing with us too. That is Tony Douglas. Great player. I remember in Bogota, we going to Meta, and we have to go up into the clouds and down. It was scary. 3 hours, you standing up and you're watching, and Crapo asking the guy, the driver, hey, we had to go through. He said, yes, we had to go up, and it was scary. Next morning, we reached down there about 3 in the morning, something like that. And it's like we were in Trinidad. Seeing Blue Jean, Kiskadi, Kobo. You swear you're in Trinidad. That's in Colombia itself. Eh? That is Meta. So we opened a tournament there. We opened a stadium there too. We drew. They gave us a trophy to keep. And then when we went to Costa Rica now, problems. I said, look, home for us. They said, all right, we're going home. And when we reached Miami now, I just hit back to New York, and the team came to Trinidad. I went back to New York, met my family and them, and then I decided, look, I spent a little while again, and came back home. Started teaching Benedicts. Now, I was really supposed to, like I say, Polytechnic. But when I went to teaching commission, they told me, they say, hey, no school, me come looking for you. They didn't know I had a school already. So since they tell me that, I say, oh yeah, I took advantage. I didn't want to travel to Port of Spain every day. That's madness. When I see the traffic going to Port of Spain, I say, look, I always say people going to Port of Spain is mad people. That's how I look at it, because I couldn't take that traffic every morning. You understand? Yeah. So I went to Benedict's, and there was an opening there. And that's how I brought back football in Benedict's. I rekindled football. Football had closed, that's something like 19 years. Yeah. What's his name? Keynes had stopped football. They even wanted to make St. Benedict's a junior sec.
Serious?
You understand?
Wow.
So I came back and I started off, you know, I tell Keynes, I say, football at the start, like, hey, I'm a PE teacher. You know, really. I know he wasn't too pleased, but he couldn't do nothing about it. He had to, you know, because... And I started back from there. I bring back Benedict's and did football. And while I was coaching Benedict's, I remember Jack Rusing from Naparima asked me to come and coach his team. But they were in championship, so I could have done that. So I went and I coached. I took Leon Lewis from Benedict's, and I took him there to Naps. Because he was wasting time in Benedict's. Benedict's playing senior grade. Yeah. Nobody looking at senior grade games. And these guys were, you know, pretty good. So I took him. Goalkeeper went to Prez. Shan, it had a guy named Shan, used to go Modsec. Well, he always used to train with Myanics and with me, juniors. Prez. So I sort of split it, you know, shared. And these guys did well, you know. They did well. And I remember now, when the scholarship part of it is while playing with Sun Jets of New York. We were sponsored by BWIA. We had players like Squeaky Hines from Port of Spain. We had Delbert Charlo, not Delbert Charlo, but Dol Griffith. We had players from Port of Spain, national players. We had a nice little team going. And I met this guy, Black Panther. He used to say for West Ham. And he was our keeper. So I asked him, I said, what you doing? He said, well, he's at Rutgers and coaching. I said, what? I said, I have 2 players for you, man. So I sent my cousin, Williams, and Rajkumar, for him scratch. Well, they had the education background to go to university, so they were able to go. Yeah. So I sent them out there and I started all that. But when I returned to Trinidad, not too long, I decided, hey, I will continue this. And there it is. I spoke to Reginald Renwick. That was a cousin of mine. He was teaching Benedict. He was a head of registrar in Howard University. And I told him, I said, listen, I have 2 players for you next 2 years. They now in Form 3. Romano Paul and Ivan Sampson. I am molding these guys for Howard. He said, okay, all right, good. But then the following year, he came down to Trinidad with Don Basil when we had a graduation. And he going to run him out to sing. Declan, and tell him about this. Declan jumped the gun and take the prize. So they sent this guy called Earl Etienne. And he was thinking Earl Etienne is the Etienne who used to play for Benedict's, was a speedy and a strong guy, but he didn't have that background, that education to go to university. He was from Laramie, but he got tied up with the name and never asked me nothing. I couldn't say nothing because if I go to say, well, hey, Earl is not entitled, trying to get an academic scholar. Yes, bright, eh? I ain't taking that from him. But he's not a footballer at that level. They'll say, well, you know, you're trying to block a youth from going up to the state. You know, we Trinidadian people. So I went away with it. Hey, I'm in school one day, my class, principal called me. Mr. Steadman, come to the office. When I go on, the first thing he'll tell me, you know, the coach of Howard called me just now there and telling me that we send a fish. And he started laughing, kick. I said, Mr. Singh, no, hold it. You know what you just did there? I said, I got screwed. And the school got screwed. I said, because America don't make joke, no. Anytime people who are recruiters making that kind of thing, they block you off. They don't want you again because you don't know what you're doing. And that was a joke for him. That was no joke for me. I was serious. Romano Paul now, Ivan Sampson, and a guy named Lalu and Lal Chan from La Prima, and Aliba from Benedict who went to Naps to do A's. They were top players. Came right downstairs by me and write up a form for Howard. They got blank. And the reason why they got blank is because of this Etienne guy. And Reggie and his thing. Well, eventually they got rid of Reggie as register to get rid of him. So that closed up. Then I had this friend of mine, but a guy I taught in Benedict. He's a dentist now in Atlanta. And he was the guy who went out there. He loved football, still into football, coaching and thing. He coached the Atlanta national team. And we started working on this scholarship. And the first guy I sent out there after was a guy named Bristol from La Prima. He went out there and he did well. And everything there was history after. Men like Mac Knight from Naps, from junior. He came from a junior sect he went to Claxton Bay High and then he went to La Prima. I started coaching him as a youth in junior sect. Kufa, a friend told me to come and help him out. So I used to go and do a thing with them too, you know. And he came to Naps. Fortunately, it was good for him. Span's son was to come with us, but they got rid of Span, so like he didn't want that. He went to Benedict's. And all these guys came, Police and them came from Leon, forget his name, but you know, called nickname Police. Leon was his name. He was from Siparia. He was the captain of the team. He was a junior sec student too. But when I was going to Naparima now, Naparima had some bright guys, Sam Lal Singh and this one and T. Steele. They were bright fellas. African and Indian, but everybody moving in one. You know, around me, everybody's one.
Yeah.
And I used to tell them, hey, you see those guys? I don't want them for 1 season or 2 seasons. I want them for 3. They must go to sixth form, 6-1 and 6-2. Then they're mature to go out. So here what's happening. Every lunchtime, you take them up in their work. And I assign them to them. And anybody who don't come, just report to me, because I wasn't teaching there. I teach in Benedict's. I go down to the ground. I reach down there about half a street. And we report to you all to learn. I get them off the team. I cut them off the team. Well, they know I was serious about that. So these guys went and they did the thing. And they were able to go on scholarship. Now, we were sort of like for connection. Because that time, John Williams was the man who was sponsoring Naparima. And I remember when we went to play them a practice game at time. You look at Leon and you look at Bailey and these guys and want them to play. And McKnight, I said, no. Those guys, they are earmarked for scholarship. They are scholarship material. We can't keep them here to play no professional football here. I don't know where the football going. You understand? I knew they were mad with me. I couldn't get what they said. Because I wanted to get something for these guys. Yeah, the best. And they went out and they did well. Police is a coach right now outside in America coaching girls. McKnight came back home. He has his own coaching school. And who is out there now working? They say, they tell me when I go out and look for them, they say, hey, you could have been a millionaire over here, John boy. We make it. I said, well, if I was here, how you would have been here? You understand? I said, that was the sacrifice. Even my green card went through because of that. You know, I could be running up and coming down, but no. When school closed, I had to stay and coach. I wanted to go scholarship, so I lost out on all of that. That didn't mean no different to me, you know. I was done kind of like, I didn't like the cool already. And all that was history, right? But the whole thing about it, I remember they asked me to play, to come for a tryout. They wanted coaches for the national team, so they had this interview. But my team, I was coaching up at the time, and we had a game at 3 o'clock. The interview is 2:30. So weeks, Winfield weeks. With field weeks, yes. That is my you know, I know him from small, his whole family and thing, and he decided, look, I will go as your manager because you can't be 2 places one time. I said, beautiful, I was thankful for that. And he went up to the meeting. Edgar Vidal was the man in charge, chairing the meeting. He said, Jana, when I told him, look, I come to represent you, Granville from Tobago, jump up on board, I supposed to be here and all this kind of thing. And like he was the man chairing the meeting. You know, eventually Granville ended up coaching the team. Yeah. You know something? His brother came to Trinidad. And like I say, with Phoenix, his brother was the goalkeeper with us in Phoenix. When he was in the States and we went to these different places, his brother was the goalkeeper. And his brother came with a white guy and they took over the team. Just like that. They didn't well. They didn't do well at all. Then, while I was in Trinidad now, Cummins called me to play with the Shell squad. When I went to the Shell squad now, just imagine you have a drop out of the army, which was, what's his name, boy? He died now. God rest his soul. He was the coach. They had me as assistant coach. And they had an ex-college university graduate, which was, he's a coach, St. Augustine. I'm a real partner. As a trainer. And we were the 2 people. That time St. Augustine was ripping too. Okay. When we returned home, one of the assistant coaches was supposed to go to Germany. They ended up sending the trainer me. Because I got a bad report. And the report I got is from this white guy called Peter Stone. He was the manager of the team. And what happened that day, we were in training in the stadium. And this guy used to play with Queen's Park because they're all Queen's Park people. You know, that clique. They had a team called Red Devils or whatever. And this guy called Godfrey Lake. Something happened between the two of us now. And I kind of pull him up. And he went to complain. Let's imagine you're a player, you go to the manager to complain about a coach. And you had the audacity to come to me to tell me about it. So I told him, I said, listen, I am a coach. He's a player. You shouldn't be asking me these questions. I think you're out of place. And as a matter of fact, you are not my age. I am elder than you, so I'm not taking that from you, Mr. Peter Stone. And I know he wasn't pleased with that. I know he wasn't pleased with that. So that was a bad record I got from him. So when it come to picking the coach now, they left me out. I didn't lose anything because when the coach came back, he built all the literature and everything for me that they did. And when I started going through my literature, I realized the things I was doing as a physical education teacher, these are the same methods they were using to do their thing. And that just made me stronger in what I was doing because everything was there in a nutshell. And I started thinking, I said, listen, you know, each coach in Trinidad is supposed to have a degree in physical education. They will know what they're about, nutritional, injuries. They have a whole wide scope of all these things. But I said, look, keep it a secret. Don't say anything because you know Trinidadian people. They will say, just because you have a degree, this. So I just stayed my way and I did my thing. Then I went and did the Futuro course. I got my degree, my badge to coach. And then years after, I met Cummins in the park, he and Grayson. They were coaching Steelpan strikers. I had my coaching school in the park. And he came and he said, John, you're the man. And I said, I am the man. What happened? I said, so how come you put me as assistant coach till I drop out from the army? You played professional, I played professional. How you could have done me that? You know, he told me and tell me, Jack Warner. I started to laugh. Yeah, I laugh and I walk away. So this is something that was going on with me. Next thing you know, Naja came into the play. No, it wasn't Naja first. Naparima played St. Anthony in the Oval, in the Hazy Crawford Stadium. Sorry. And after the game, we beat them 2-1. That time, Kevin Jones was playing with them. He was really a defender. He was no forward. And he came on TV and said he saw a team playing and he wanted to know who is the coach, who is this coach who coached the team, bam, bam, bam. Well, apparently he got in touch with me. I went to an interview with them. He and his assistant interviewed me. He said, well, listen, I'm giving you the under-17 team. Because he said, I like the work I see those guys doing, the progress and whatever. I said, okay. And then about a month or two after, politics started coming into the football with Jack Warner. Decided, look, he ain't paying him no more. He calling on Patrick Manning to pay and all this kind of thing. But I always know that Jack was going to run for government sometime. I always say that to people tell me, no, Jack in Trinidad, you know. Jack from Cayenne, French Guiana. Them is Nigerian who went to France. That was the place they used to send all the bright people who get trouble in Cayenne. Yeah? Never to return to France. So these people were bright people. Jack, I tell them, I say, Patrick, I want to know Jack, you know. I say, boy, I telling you, I do research on this man. I was the only footballer and New Orleans, Sammy, did research on Jack Warner. We had, I know one person in Trinidad who has spoken 7 different languages, Don Basil Matthews. He was a scholar. Tell a guy named Fanchep, he was a one of those referees in boxing, Franchot Moore. He told me Dr. William 5. I didn't know. He was a scholar. Where does Bob man come out from? With 7 languages fluently. You understand? Cayenne is French. Suriname is Dutch, right there. Yeah. You from Nigeria, you know Nigerian. You grew up in that family. So these languages is nothing for you. It's only when you learn English you catch your tail to learn other languages. And that is what they did to us as Africans. Yeah, they sink you with that. But these fellas had their, the original way of speaking, and they learn. When I tell people that, deceased carpet used to laugh at me and say, boy, John and kicks off. But I just leave it like that because he didn't understand where I was coming from. So there it is. Naja came on the plane now and called me from New York, from America. He said, John, I have something for you. Because he didn't know I was in Trinidad until one day Dr. Elias took me up to treat up with him and we went to have a little day. And he said, you in Trinidad? Then about 3 months after he called me, say, I have something for you, can't refuse. I said, what is that? He said, I'm going to put you on the under 19 team. You and Franco. Now that is the same Franco who told me as a youth.
Carlton?
Nah, Carlton is his brother. Carlton was, well, he used to play in Malvern. He was the biggest one. But like when I was playing professional, Carlton came and looked for us when we was in Vancouver. We went to play Vancouver and he came and looked for us. But his brother, he said, you all will coach the under 20 team. Yeah. Naja told us that he wanted us to coach a team. But then he played 3 games with the national team and lost all 3. And he decided to call it quit. It's as though both of us had to quit too because nobody came back to us. We heard nothing about it. So that went down the drain. That was the only experience I had up to this time. But then I had my little coaching school going on, sending guys on scholarships and things like that. But then I realized the youths here wasn't taking it seriously. And about 4 years ago, I made up my mind to call it quit. And the reason for that is that I had a coaching school going on, and other guys were going to other schools, spending this big set of money, not learning anything. And I was the cheapest. But then this guy came from Philadelphia. His mother came down a day and saw me, his aunt, and said, listen, my nephew is coming down to Trinidad for 3 weeks, and I want him to get enrolled in this program. I said, okay. And he came that summer, and he told me he's a point guard. And I started to teach him the fundamentals, the keep-ups, and things like that. And at the end of the 2 weeks, the things that guy was doing, I turned to my guys and said, look at that. You all are with me for so many years, and you all can keep up the ball for 10, for 20, for 30. Look at him. Because every time he has a chance, he's practicing. The kicks, the turn. So that evening, we decided to play with them. That morning, in fact, they came in the morning with the red jersey. I don't know why these guys come in with red jersey. I don't have red jersey in my coaching school, But I realized everybody who was in the coaching school during the week, in the camp, they came with red jersey. Didn't know what was a plan they had. And at the end of the day, we want to play those guys, the regulars, who come in every Saturday, who didn't come. So I said, okay. And I lying to you, man. When they put on some football on these guys who were there, some of them was bigger than them too, and they're shocked because I told them, I said, listen, Saturday is just to keep you in tune. But when you come during the week, it's individual training. You learn more things. The morning you do the skills and everything, and in the evening then you practice what you learn. So you get a chance to perform. And that's how these guys picked up. You know something? At the end of it, I started to play with them in the game. And I put a screen on the same youth man who came, and my elbow runs straight into his face. And that guy turned on and ball, it's the screen, it's the screen. And I was so amazed, like, normally a guy from Trinidad get a lash in the face, he hold his face and ball. He realized it's my screen that caused him to get that. He shouldn't have run in there. And I look at that and I say, wow, he pick it up. Because you spread. When you spread, you keep people away from you. If they're running into your elbow. And I said, you know something? I am wasting my time. Because I go to the States and I work with Ivan Sampson. We started a coaching school there since in 2002. And the kind of result he's getting, it's unbelievable. That guy called Riley, who's playing for presentation right now, he was with Connection, with Brian Williams and these guys. And they took him. And he went up to Ivan's school, New Holidays, his father sacrificed. And today he's one of the top players in presentation. But he's small, size. His father was a small guy too. Father run and won the 800 in Carafta and thing, That is the kind of talent. And a talent. Latapi was a small guy too. You understand? But when I look at what the guys he was training with out there is 11 and 12 years old, which is his age. Not his age. He was 17. But he looked like them in size. They're small like him, but it's 13 and 12 and he's 17. And the kind of training they were doing, he had to step up to the plate. And when you watch him playing with the presentation today, you could see he's a cut above the rest. But he's already earmarked for Washington, D.C. have some youth program, some that he did trials for already. So, this is what's happening. Like this morning I went to the bank and a guy told me, I went to get a statement. He said, you don't know who you're talking to? I said, no. He said, you taught me in Benedict as a PE teacher. My name is so and so and so and so. He said, I want you to coach my son. I said, how old is your son? He said, my son ain't born yet. He said, but he's on the way. I started to laugh. He said, he's on the way. I said, well, boy, if you know something. I went to a brunch yesterday, and I met guys there, and they're telling me, boy, I have 2 young boys. You have to coach them. I don't want nobody else to coach these guys. He said, my cousin, right now, he's a doctor today, and you changed his whole life in doing things with him, The kind of discipline you put in him, and the skills that he learned and the game. I just laugh, I say, well, boy, I'm thinking about it. I don't know yet if I still want to get back into that. Because, you see, the whole thing about it is you need good facilities. You need good grounds to train these youths. When you go to Skinner Park and rainfall, you can't do nothing. I feel like you can't play. It's too muddy, it's too muddy. So these are the things I look at. We need to get something better than that here if we really want to mold the youths into better footballers, right? To teach them the fundamentals, which is not happening. We have too many coaches here who are not of that level, and they're, I don't know, I call them short-changing the youths. Yeah, they're short-changing them. They're not learning the proper. So it's hard for a coach. When a coach comes to you and want to coach a youth who don't know the fundamentals and don't know his role as a player, it's hard for a coach. So all these coaches they bring here and want to coach the national team, they have a problem. Because the players are not at that level. This is what you learn from small. You don't just learn it by osmosis. Right? So I decided, look, let me pack up. I go to the States and I do my thing. I enjoy that. But I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. Now, coming back to sonatas now, with my good old friend, God bless his soul, Steel Orchestra. I came home in 79, ending of 79. I was always a front player, so I went to the national team. I went to practice in the evening, and there I saw this guy. I didn't know him, with the glasses on, his small glasses on, and I started to talk to him. But when I heard how he was playing the span, I decided, hey, this man sounding like Rudin, you know, very close.
Within Austin.
Yeah, he was the arranger then.
Senates.
No, no, when I came back home.
Oh, you came
Yeah,
back. Right.
and it was professional. But the people is be making a mock out of him. They're doing him all kind of thing. Men pulling off his cap and Trevor Horn and Gulcher and him. I stop all of that because I fit. I bad. Because that couldn't happen to somebody with that kind of talent. I stop all of that.
Yeah.
I say, you know I live in? Right up the road behind Karamat, check me out. And he was living by me. When I say living, he wasn't sleeping, but from morning, that time I wasn't working as yet. I had a tenner in the corner right there. Be like, so I'm right downstairs here. And a day, a friend of mine came down, Geoff Raphael. We all senators. And he said, John, we're looking for a ranger. I said, you're looking for a ranger? He said, yeah, I'm looking for a ranger. I said, well, that time Pro line with me. I cut Pro dread downstairs here. He had a little picky head dread, I cut it. I took him horse racing with me, and the guy was in the horse racing with me. We went to the bar. And he said, but you want a ranger? I said, well, look at me here. I had a friend named Gavin Thompson. He's the one who really see that spirit in Pro. And he said one day to him, he said, you the man, you know. I've been praying for that, to have an arranger like you. He said, Bugsy and Jit, they ain't giving us the music to beat the tongue bands. He said, but you have to be arranging for a band like Fun Clear, a big band. And it happened in 85. He got the call. Rudin was sick and he had his call. They called him to finish the tune, which he did. A lot of people wasn't too pleased when I said he's going to finish the tune, but he did a good job. And then he went from there. Everything was history. So he went to America. I sent him to Sonatas, and they made his name. He came out as top. When he won about 5 or 6 panoramas out there, and everything after that was history. Well, God bless his soul. He came and he died. Accident. And I know we're going to miss him. And that's the history of my life. I am still around. I still try to help other people, still try to get guys on scholarship, but they have to know the time. They have to be prepared and ready. Look, the guy who went to Benedict, the 2 guys who went from Benedict and President got in an accident. That can happen with the guys I sent away. That never happened to them, because I will talk to them and let them know. I will let them know, you know, you're going in a strange country. You can't be joyriding with other people and things like that. And they go with prayers. You don't go just like that. But how much people doing that? They send the children out there just so, you know. And a guy asked me, he said, how come when you send guys away, they finish school and they're not dropping out, you know? Like just recently, my dentist friend called me and tell me, he said, hey, you know something? A guy got a 5-year scholarship, a 4-year scholarship, full scholarship from presentation named Bass. He went up there and he said that the coach sent him 15 minutes to play, and he said the coach didn't like him. He decided to come home. And then he came and he told his parents something about he had some injury in his throat or something like that. I said, but the rightest place to get an operation to see about is out there with that. So I can't understand that. That is what he told them. But then when I got it from my resource, it's something different. So he made bad for other players getting out there for scholarship, because it was a full scholarship he got, you know. So this is what I'm trying to tell these people here in Trinidad. You have to be on the ball. You have to know what you're about. Don't let that opportunity fail. You understand? Don't let that opportunity fail. But that's how it is.
John, what do you consider to be the high point in your career?
High point in my career is when I played against the greatest player on this earth, Pele. Our club.
Pele, you mean the Brazilian number one?
Pele, number one.
Wow.
We played against his team, Santos. New York Generals played Santos. We won that game. We were the only team in the NFL that won against Santos.
Really?
Archibald scored 2 goals on that game. Warren Archibald. That team was comprised of 7 players on the 1970 World Cup team. This was 68 I'm talking about. 2 years after they won the World Cup in Mexico with Carlos Alberto and these guys. And hey, I couldn't believe that was going to happen, and it happened. That was the most memorable thing that came to me in my mind, that I always dream of. I always think about it, and it was like out of this world, being able as a local to play against Pele. And I was so happy. I even took out a picture with him, Archibald, and Co-Prince from Holland. He was the next one. And you know something? Those were the 2 players they acted in, I don't know if you are aware of Escape to Victory. It's a picture they had with Saloon as the captain, as the goalkeeper. Sylvester Stallone as the goalkeeper. They had Pele, Bobby Charlton, Bobby Moore, the top players in the world at the time. And Co-Prince, who played with us, in that picture I have there, he was one of 2 of them, Pele and the other 2. The only 2 didn't play was Archibald and myself from that picture. So that is something I always cherish. I always have that in my memory bank. I will never forget those moments. That was the heights of my career.
Okay. On the other hand, is there a moment in your career that you will never like to relive? I'll put you on the spot.
Playing with my team in New York that I coached and getting an injury that is still nagging me today.
What team is this?
Was Trinbago. Team Trinbago. And we were playing a final in Boys High. I just came from playing professional, so I was fit. And this guy came up and hit me a kick just like that. And that was the end of my foot. My foot ended up with a cartilage. Up to this day, I never did anything about it, and up to this day it still bothers me. And I always say I will never want to experience something like that again. And I won't like nobody to experience something like that.
That's not the same team that doubled up as Sonatas?
As Sonatas. That's the same team that doubled up as Sonatas. It was and after that we went to Steelpan. And I say I will never like that to happen to me. That is why I hate minor league football. That's why when I coach him and the guy asks me to join minor league teams, and I say no, have no discipline in that football. And I know plenty of people who got injured playing the minor league. So I end up just coaching in the 5-hour league. And that is one experience, like I said, I will never want to get.
Okay, on a sad moment, did you have a relationship with deceased Ken Professor Fillmore?
Ooh, and Professor Fillmore. Sad, sad, sad. Yes. I met him in 80 when I returned home. I went down to Frontclair, which I was a player of Frontclair. And I reached home, I went down there to listen to the band rehearse. And while outside I hearing this tenor playing and this guy soloing, I saying, but wait, this guy is sounding like Rudin, Austin. But Rudin wasn't in the band yet that night. Who is this guy? And when he came out and I look at the guy, I say, wow. So then I asked him, I say, where did you learn to solo like that? And his word to me was Butters. Now I remember Butters playing with Frontclair.
Bartholomew.
What
was his first name?
I can't remember.
And his brother was Michael.
I can't remember exactly what his first
Butters,
name.
okay.
Butters, yeah. And he was a player. I remember when I had to leave here in Trinidad to go back to the States in '68. After Juve morning, I sat down and cried, and he's the one who came and consoled me. A youth, he was a youth.
Butters?
Yeah, because I didn't want to leave Juve morning.
I recall while I was the manager of Pleasantville Senior Comprehensive School Steelpan, Butters was the man in charge of arranging, and then Pro came and took over.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was Pro teacher in soloing.
Okay.
And Pro showed me that. So then I look at him and say, you know where I live? He said, yeah. I said, well, check me out. But at that time, people used to be making a mock out of him, doing him, putting tail behind his, turning him when he turned over that tail. I stopped all of that. Guys used to take off his hat and all this kind of thing, for he had a picky head dread. I cut it home by me, I cut it, and I took him in hand. I stopped all of that. By heel I made me nobody come around with no strippiness.
Right.
But I didn't used to make joke with them kind of thing. And he started to get his respect from there. And then I took him to horse racing in the evening with me in Union Park. And there I met my friend who came down from the States, Senators. And he said, John, we just fired our ranger. We win Panorama, and there it is, this man want more money than what he bargained for and whatever. We get rid of him. We're looking for an arranger. And Pooh was on spot. Right? Now I knew he could play the pan because that year Frontclair got 4 road tunes. 4 road tunes. And that was by Professor.
Yeah.
When Woodin came to give us his Panorama tune, they didn't like his tune. So Woodin said, okay, let me hear what all they have. Tell Them was one of them, by Shadow. He said, well, this is the best tune, and he took it. And we played that for Panorama. But it was a tune against the judges. So we got a happy Juve. You know?
Is it judges jumping?
Yeah, judges jumping. Yeah, Kashin Head and Kevin jumping, yeah. And we played that tune here. And we got a happy Juve. They used to tell you that on the score sheet. Happy Juve, which means you're out of Panorama, everything you've done. You wait until Juve. So that was it. So everybody blamed Pro for that. But it wasn't that. Pro gave us road tunes.
So you say Frontclair won the Panorama?
No. What? We got thrown out.
Thrown out?
Yeah, thrown out because of that tune.
Was it when the times when Panorama and South was separate from North?
Definitely.
Okay.
You understand? And we played Tell Them. Song real good, we did a real good job there.
Yeah.
But it was a protest tune. They ain't taking that.
Okay.
So they gave us a happy Juve at the end of the score sheet. So your pan had like a ghost town until Carnival come. You understand? So these are the things we went through. And Pro went outside and he did well. He did well. He won 5 or 6 Panorama. Yeah. Then he came back to Frontclair and he started arranging for Frontclair, which he was told by one of my friends. He said, hey, you see you? You're the man we're looking for. I pray to God to get an arranger like you to help us down here. He said, Jit, And Bugsy engaging Beltones to beat we, and Jit engaging Don Club to beat Tongue Band. But they are arranging for Tongue Band, 2 bands. He said, use the man, but they had to be arranging for a band like Fun Play, a big band. But he wasn't arranging for Fun Play. He was just a player. Right? They made me vice captain of the band that year. The following year we got away. Because they say when I was a vice captain, I went and I did inventory with the band and pans that we need, and during that time pan was just moving on the pan yard. I had no say. But then people say, I say, they sold pan. The owners. So it was a big thing for me. So I say, after Panorama, that's it, because they treat me like a dog at that time. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And then when I said I'm going to leave, Professor said he's leaving too. Ooh. That's how he ended up with Hatters. And he did a good job with Hatters. I mean, they didn't win Panorama, they didn't, but it sounded good. It was one of the first big band in Trinidad. And the next year, Frontler called him to finish the tune because Rudin got sick.
Oh, okay.
And that was the break. That was the break at Frontler. And that was the break my partner, Gong Gong, told him that he had to be playing with a big band from Frontler. Like a spirit hit him right there. Sitting on right there, a spirit like I hit him and tell him, hey, you man, but I always praying for a ranger like. And after that, everything was history. But the problem Pro did was, I told them to send him to music lessons, which was just across the street where he was living, in Sonatas in New York. Yeah. He never did. And I think that was one of his downfall.
But another school of thought said that worked for him.
Well, it worked for him because he was a top. To me, he's the best pianist to have. Right? Go on a tenor, and he will captivate a whole audience, a whole arena. But when coming to arranging, in arranging now, you have different instruments to give music to. Yeah. And if you don't have that scope, that musical, like Bradley wasn't a pan man. Bradley can't play a tenor.
But he knew music.
But he knows music. Xander couldn't play no pan. Xander and them fellas, they are keyboards men. They knew music.
So they could distribute.
Yes. So if Pro have to change this part to this part, he might spin around and play about 3, 4, 5, 8, 2 minutes trying to get it. And they just do so plup, plup. Yeah. And they get it going.
Because they could read the score.
Because they could read scores, they could, the notes that they will, So it's something that you must have. But then he came and he told me, Duke Wellington told him something that I couldn't believe, that he about to know music, he good at it. I said, when he told me that, I took that with a pinch of salt. I said, because if he could tell you that, because he played with them, I said, if he tell you that, it's music you want to know. He's a musician. He's Duke Ellington. I mean, you could play a tenor by ear, but if you know music, you go further. You understand? Yeah, you'll go further with it. But he had that gift. He had that gift. And I always say, if he had music with him, they want to see where Pro going all along. Yeah. You want to catch him? Because he had that in him, that kind of flair in the music. Sweetness. He was that. And I told him the other day, I said, hey, why you ain't get the tenants to play the music and we are custom doing? I said, don't follow them other guys. You are your own styling. But you see, he went on to get different styling, following the other guys now, how they arranging, and you have your way of doing it. Pan here to stay. When you hear Pan here to stay, that was Professor. Everything you hear in your tenors running, And I think he lost it there for the arranging part. But for the playing part in the pan, he's great. I think he was the best I have. I don't want to put on the best tenor player I have. I always say. And the next man in his shoes is a guy called Dwight Belgrove, which I figure out you know.
Your neighbor across the room?
My neighbor. And different.
Yes, I did.
He solo different approach. But he wants a band bar down here, He wants a band bar down here. But he asked me last week about sonatas. I said, but sonatas is no more in existence. Okay. They're fighting war against the band and this one. So They wanted me to come up to the States to get involved. I said no. I left there too late, too long. I am Marcus' friend and I am Conk Robin's friend. I don't want to get involved because Conk Robin is who gave him the band. I don't want to part of that. I don't want to get... I even sent Birch over there. Birch and Kelman. To tune the blend and thing, make pan for them. Because they wanted Roy Gay. That time, what's his name? Randolph Hillier was the captain of the band. He had married to Roy Gay's sister. And they asked him to come and do some pan for them, for the panorama, and he left and he went to Grenada. He blanked them. So they called me. I said, John. So I went up to Birch and Birch said he will take it up, and he went. Yeah. Birch in America still every day he go out there churning out there. He had a daughter just die sometime.
Birch?
Yeah, out there, childbirth or something like that. You know. So, you know, it's a way that open. So when these guys tell me, Mr. Steadman, you should be up here making money and things, I say, oh, you would have been out there if I wasn't. Okay, I wouldn't know you, you wouldn't know me. You know? So, that's how the cookie crumbles. Again, these are the moments that I will always cherish. The good, the bad, you know. And some of them again I got in fighting football too out there. No? Yeah. You know, as a coach you have to stand up for your players. And I used to make joke with that. You know, we used to play those Jamaicans were very ignorant people, they want to fight you. If you're beating them, they want to fight your team. They want to beat you and all this kind of thing. So I had to stand up for that. Archie used to come and play with me too. Yeah, we did well over there, man. We did well. But Cosmos, it's when Cosmos formed in 71, I was one of the players there. One of the pioneers. After that, I started going to Brooklyn College. Before I get my degree, I started going there. And Cummins came in after and played for Cosmos. He sent me wear the jersey I had, number 20. Clive Burnett was a kicker for them also. I don't know if you know Clive Burnett, the Milo man. He was one of our top players here now. Lincoln were the two top players in Trinidad. Yeah. Keepers. And the rest is history. Yeah. You know? I remember you running with me in with Brooklyn. Yeah. I remember we used to be running in Brooklyn. And Crawford. He's the Crawford, he was the youth to us. Yes. Right? Brian Baker. Yeah. And you know, recently I just understand 5 years ago, Brian Baker was telling me he was running under 12, but he was Crawford's age. Okay. But Crawford didn't want nothing with him. You understand? So he run the age above and beating them there too. Like Silver Baker's son. Yeah. Silver Club Baker. Yeah. And he went to the army, he went out there, but these fellas never do running anymore. I don't know why they, you know, he was a top-notch one. When you hear government school going to run, Crawford under 10, Ryan Baker under 12, nobody beat us there. Yeah. You might get licks in the upper division, but not down there. You know? And I remember Crawford when I came home in 69, before I went back outside. I was coaching Trinidad, Texaco. The coach asked me to prepare them to go in Grenada. So I had the C's Remy working with me. And that day I went to the sports shop. Yeah. I walked into the sports shop, sports bar, and I see this guy coming with the running shoes and the bag. What do you think it was? Crawford. Right? So I asked him, I said, Crawford, what's going on? Thin and tall. So what's going on now? He down in think Power Gen, something down there, Penal, doing high jump, that I'm working apprentice with. And I tell him, I say, hey, let me tell you something. I know Carl Archer playing Timberlees in Young One Combo. Yeah, man, that's my boy. Yeah. He was no runner in school time when we running. And he took, because he went in an apprentice and started running thing. I said, you have that natural, boy, go back to running, boy, what to you, boy? High jump.
He listened to you?
But here what happening? I leave and I gone away. I 69. That's around April, so I telling you that. I leave and I go back up in September. The following year, Jeff Farrell. The Farrell brothers used to ride.
Yeah, from Blanche.
That a sugarhead one named Jeff.
Yeah.
He came up to the States. But every time they come to the States, everybody used to come by Jan. Jan is the man taking them out here,
Yeah.
And he bought a clipping for me from Southern Games where Crawford beat Pee Wee. Edwin Skinner, Edwin Roberts in the 100 in Southern Games. And I in the train, I bought, ah! People look at me like, this man going mad, but then I was
victory for you.
Yeah, victory for me.
Yeah.
And then I remember I home a day, and I get a phone call. Hey John, I said, who's that? Hazy boy. I said, Hazley? Wait. But I'm New York boy. I see you in New York, wait. He got a scholarship and he was going to school somewhere down in the south. But during the holidays he'll come up to New York. You understand? I said, alright, that's cool, you know. And then we used to converse and thing with each other. You know, when he come to New York we talk and thing. And I remember 1975, I with Sunjets, like I told you, I used to be with Sunjets. When Uta used to be with us, when I get the job for them, Uta was with Sunjets, something like that, you know. And we had this, every Saturday we used to have, before Labor Day Saturday we used to have a tournament. We didn't used to play, we just used to host the tournament. So men like Carl Archer coming from Canada, this one coming from this team, coming from, it was a nice camaraderie thing we used to have there. And I standing up by this time, and I got a shove from behind my back. And with that shove, here I am. You feel you could beat me now? And I go, no, I had little size, I guess small now. And I go forward and I turn around. When I turn around and I watch Hazley, it's Hazley, you know. He and Pee Wee together, he and Edwin Roberts, they always used to hang out together. The man looked like Bob Hayes. I know if you remember Bob Hayes.
The teacher?
Bob Hayes used to run, who came Trinidad and run big.
Yeah.
Is he looking like Bob Hayes, boy? And I turn around and I tell him, I say, hey, they can't beat you, boy. Just for now. And that same Labor Day, that was the Saturday, the Labor Day, the Monday, he and Pee Wee have one, they dress up with like Baby Dapper and the baby, two of them, two big strong men in this kind of, they look like, yeah. When they started doing thing, like to me, them was the only two dressed up so, boy. You know, like that kick thing, boy. I say, wow. And then the next following year, he went on the winning goal, the 76 Olympic. I just know it's a small world, how things happen, you know.
61.
Yeah.
I remember I was in London that year, and I was with my girlfriend. She been and I telling my girlfriend, he used to run with this guy. Yes. And I'm happy boy.
Yes, man.
My homeboy.
Yeah.
Gold medal boy.
Gold medal boy.
Leaving Vance and then maybe
Vance and what's the guy from Jamaica name? Who goes? Forget his name. He was the 200 bucks.
They motorized it in Calypso.
Yeah, he was the 200 man.
Yeah.
But he's the man who set up the whole program for Jamaica now. That's why Jamaica, and you see, this is what we did wrong in Trinidad. Our athletes, they never use the athletes who went out there and got the exposure. Like take for instance, the kind of thing I did and went up to, they never use us as coaches there. So we couldn't come out with what I give back to my colleges, and then because of what I know, that's why my college was always at top. We never go to do it to the national team. Jamaica set up a program, and it's still going on.
I think what worked for Jamaica too is that the Cubans, they engage the Cubans to work with the athletes.
And they have a higher altitude than us,
Yeah.
So they are more into, you know. And we fail there, but you know, I mean, like, We have good athletes, but the harnessing is what we know. We have raw talent here now. Raw talent. Yeah.
Alright, so
That's about it.
if you had to send a message to a lot of these young fellas who just there lining on the block, what would it be?
There's so many things out there for them. You know, there's so many things out there for them. When I was their age, they didn't have much. So we took athletics or soccer. They have so many things out there to them now. They can get into the art form. They can study the school world. They could go on scholarship. They could do it. It's open, and there's avenues out there for them. They just have to tap into those avenues. But apparently people don't get them aware of these things, or apparently they don't read and things like that. Now in school, I used to let them know, get them aware. I don't know if the teachers do it, because most of the teachers who teach it, they never go nowhere. You understand? They stay in Trinidad system, bam bam, they go back in the teaching. I was outside, so I know what to expect and what is out, you know. So I had a broader scope of what's going to happen and what you should do to reach. And there's what's happening. They need to focus on what they're doing too. They don't really focus on what they're doing. And you have to love what you're doing. You understand? You have to love it with a passion. These fellas don't matter. And I mean, if the coaches have to instill that in them, you know, that is what I did to my players. My players coming from all down in the countryside and what kind of scholarship I took. Most of the guys who I sent on scholarship, like, it's guys from the country. How many guys from the town went for scholarship? Ivan Sampson, maybe this guy, Daly's son, Mark Knight, but all the rest is from Chatham, Faizabad, from there. Why? They were more focused. They were hungry for it. When you're in the town, you got too much distraction. You understand? Yeah. And it's a bad thing. And next thing I used to tell you something too. They didn't want people trying to play in the pan.
Yeah. But
that opens up your intellect. When you could play pan, you focus just like how you focus, and I did that to people trying, and they thank me after. I say, see, the same way you focus in playing that pan, focus on your schoolwork the same way, and you'll see the difference.
Not that alone.
And they come back and tell me that now.
Not that alone. I couldn't play pan when I was in Trinidad. I learned to play pan in England, right? But my cutting edge was the pan. I work in Nigeria, Botswana, but the pan made a difference to me, the people I encountered.
I hear you.
You understand? So, if you are a Trini and you're going abroad to study or to live, make sure you can play your national instrument.
Look what happened in Japan just recently. Our girls went there to play netball or something, and they were greeted in the airport. The Japanese playing pan for them.
Right.
And I asked a question, how many girls in our contingent here could play a pan?
Exactly. Wonderful.
And I watch these girls and them coming to front play, coming to phase 2, coming to those different bands, and they know they're tuning their own tenor. They're making their own pan.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And coming on with it. My partner who played Despa said, John, he teaching one of them a run and miss a note. And she said, hey, you left out that note. You know? But he do something like you, with your ear, mightn't realize he missed it. He skate.
Yeah.
He said, you missed the note. He said, when she tell him, he watch her so. You know?
Shocked.
Yeah, you're shocked. He admit to me. He said, John, I was shocked. Are you really scared the note? He said nobody didn't want to teach her the pan to play. Because she was kind of like, and he, you know, I made a calypso, and one of the words in the calypso was, teach a kid to play a pan. Show him the formation. show him how to place his hand. Make sure he understands. That is all I ask of you, Panis, to execute your skills in front of the children. So let Pan music take control. Pan will really rock this world. And that is one of the main things I see, because I see that bell go to execution, where you position your hand. Instead of hitting a run from here, you hit it from here. It becomes easier. Instead of you crossing. Simple. And this is what Rudy, my partner, he teach people like that. And Dwight show him that. It's Dwight to teach him that. And when they pass on that player, the player get better than them. You feel me? And you see, but them players doing things that I had to watch it when I was there, I couldn't do it. I teach them, so they learn that.
But they say, anytime the person you taught becomes better than you are, it means you are a good teacher.
Very good teacher. And I always pass on that to fellas.
Yeah, was my student.
You have to make your student better than you.
Alright, where you are now?
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, this has been a conversation with Jan Steadman and Hollis Clifton.
Thank you. Yeah, this is what I got from St.Benedict College, Jan Steadman, token of appreciation. So Steadman on retirement for long service and the progress in teaching. This year is St. Benedict's College. You get a better picture of it here. Championship team. You see Rondon, Kenny Joseph, Warren Archibald, Dillion. This is John sitting on here. This is Bronner, Don Basil, Adrian Chandler, Wilfred Cave, Bill Wells. This is the team that I coach in Benedict's with Ivan Sampson. We won out the thing. Don Basil is in the back there with Dave Ruben. I am the coach here, and the gongsman, Gongzi. Neverson, Ivan, Martin Jordan, Benjamin, that was one of the first guy who went on scholarship. Next to me there. Sinclair. This was government school when I first started off as a youth.
And it was co-educational then?
Yeah. Andrew E., who played with me in Benedict's, with Bobby Sucrum and these guys. Yeah, New York Generals. Right, when I played, this is me here. I was the only black guy on the team that day.
You are the general then?
Yeah, I was the general at the time. And then this is the picture we played with Pele Santos. That's their color. This is me standing here next to Pele. This is Co-Prince Archibald. Right? And then we have the awards here. So these are my children, and you know, my daughter who got married right now, she's in Hong Kong doing acting and singing. This is my biggest daughter here, Liz. This is their mother. That's my biggest daughter husband, my friend in New York, and that's me there. And that's them and their husbands. This award here was given to me from Atlanta. The Benedict schoolboys from Atlanta. Right? That was sent to me. For what I did for them. The achievement. What I don't have is Naparima, which I have to put it, maybe I might have it up there. And this year was Fun Play that I played with. Then I have one on top there. This is where the guys I coach in Benedict's. I taught them Benedict's. Guy I coach and taught in Benedict's. They call themselves Benedict Loyals. They had a big thing in in the park one day, and they gave those trophies to me. I was given this by the College League. As a coach.
Trinidad and Tobago College League.
Yeah, and this was from the College League also. Ministry of Sports achievement. And the rest I have it inside. I haven't really, put them out as yet. But this was all of my achievement. These are trophies that I won in Brooklyn College, intramural sports. The running, athletics. I was a good athlete too. I did good triple jump. 46.6.
John, what you have not done as yet?
I don't know.
Man of all waters.
Yeah.
Okay, John, it was nice having this conversation with you.
Thank you.
And I'll see you on another day and another time.
Anytime.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.